As you say, Commissioner, redistricting has brought District E out here to the Wetlands Park. What a fantastic place. And as you say, it's an undiscovered or a jewel that a lot of people really don't know about. And we're here just 15 minutes from the Strip.
15 minutes at the most here. We've been building, they're opening an interpretive center. There will be classrooms here for not only Clark County School District, but any person that wants to find out about our nature and such. And having just, it's so quiet and peaceful, we forget about that part. So I decided, you know what, this is new to my district, hopefully not new to many Nevadans, but if it is, let's introduce some of our jewels that we have, you know, from Mount Charleston to Red Rock to Cold Creek and Wetlands Park. And so we have to promote that, make sure that we're protecting the habitat and coexisting as best as we can in this urban climate.
A lot of stakeholders out here, and of course a lot of people using it. Just in the few minutes we've been out here this morning, we've seen bird watchers and joggers and hikers.
Exactly.
And, you know,
I need to get my bird book out myself. I actually have a couple of them. And then we have 5 turtles over here on the rock sunbathing. We have the coot that was just calling to us. It's someplace that we need to make sure that we protect and fund. We're excited that the administration offices should hopefully be opening if the contract winds up by the beginning of this summer, and then it'll be a phased-in approach for the rest of the center, the interpretive area. It's open sunrise to sunset, and I would just ask people to make sure that they explore. If they start at the Flamingo Arroyo Trail, they could actually walk out here, which my staff and I are going to do, just to see what we've built and created. Too often we do it on maps on paper rather than experiencing it, so we want to go ahead and do that as well.
Commissioner, it's been a long time since we've had you in your neighborhood, and you
Yes.
talk about the trail system, the Neon to Nature trail tool. As you say, you could take this, you could actually go all the way up to UNLV, and including the Flamingo Arroyo Trail. That was a nice trailhead, a nice improvement, and a way to link the trail system in this part of the valley.
Absolutely. It was designed by what the artist took in mind, the Paiute contributions through their basket weaving, and that's where a lot of the design, and we actually had it blessed and by the Paiutes came down and did that, so we were honored to have that. In addition to that, as you know, we were having some tagging going on along the wash because of the concrete. But so what we did is we worked with Monkey Gym, which is a nonprofit organization. A Clark County School District teacher was at Chaparral, and we got kids through our Summer Business Institute. They actually designed murals to complement it, and it's not been tagged since. And in fact, the HOA on the other side of the wash were so thrilled with it, they've asked them to come and do their side as well. So we're trying to build public art in a very different way. We've got here Miguel Rodriguez's carvings that have not been dedicated yet. So when we do the opening or the full-fledged opening of the park, we need to recognize that.
Commissioner, recently at a budget prefab meeting, in fact, you were even on record as talking about arts and cultural opportunities, and especially a number of these public arts opportunities, whether it's a ZAP program or murals at Park Avenue or Park Apartments, I believe, recently. You're always looking for these opportunities, and how I guess it's 2 questions here. How do we fund these things, and why is public art so important for the neighborhoods?
A community is, when we're all long gone, you look at your architecture and you look at your public art to define what that community was about. City of Las Vegas, Henderson, Reno, Sparks, they all have funding that they've dedicated from their county or city budgets to actually go to that. We don't in the county, and my goal is to establish a fund. What they do in most of the jurisdictions is takes a percentage of their capital funds and sets it aside into a special fund, and then you use a community arts group that does the juries and such, because I don't think us as politicians should be the ones making that decision on whose art is best. I think we need to expand our ZAP project, which is we just did the one, as you mentioned, at Cambridge, which is fantastic. In fact, Boulevard Mall is interested in doing a public-private partnership. I just formed a business district on Maryland Parkway, and we're talking to those business owners to see if they might want to add to that component so that we're beautifying an area, but also teaching people that art and culture we have to deal with the quality of life issues that are there. So I think it's very important that the county step up and find financing, set it aside, and actually move forward where our other sister cities have already taken the lead on. And then you coexist. If City of Las Vegas has a great cultural program, we don't need to duplicate that. Is there a way to enhance it? As we deal with landscaping or whatnot, maybe we bring in more art, landscape architects that deal with the art. Just making sure that we're always looking at the eye of something that really reflects that community. And each neighborhood's different. I mean, that's why the Cambridge art is very different than what they did in the city of Las Vegas off of Martin Luther King. Both well done. In fact, I ran into the brother of one of the artists that did our artwork at Cambridge the other day, and it's just a small world, and we forget that we have such local talent here that we need to promote and protect. Artists don't make a lot of money. They're not asking to make a lot of money, but they really do believe that we should build that community. And I still think you have to do it a neighborhood at a time.
Very good. Commissioner, let's switch gears here a little bit as we're sitting here just at the edge of Lake Mead. Recently, obviously, water is vitally important here, and you and the Water Board made some fairly controversial decision, I guess, or something that needed to be done. But bottom line is this, for basically the people watching this, it's going to be $5 a month for a typical homeowner, and that's just for 3 years for increased water service. Explain this a little.
Well, actually, that's what the recommendation was from the Water Authority to the Water District. But I amended the option because I heard from the business community as well as those in the conservation community and from residences that they were not part of this process. And so, what I amended the motion to say is, we'll take your recommendation for option 2, which was the $5, the flat rate.
Okay.
But we are going to form a working committee over the next 18 months and come back potentially with another recommendation that is more stable, that doesn't lose the sight of rewarding people for conserving and not punishing them for it, to make sure that we look at our manufactured home park owners, because they get impacted differently, because some of them are master meters, some are not, so we have a lot of inequity. And our residence is subsidized by business, yes, and has been. So is that the right way to go? I don't know, but it all should be on the table, and we should not have had really the small businesses carried the brunt of it at this point. That may still be a decision that's made in 18 months, but you need to do it in a public process and not just because we've always done it the way we have. So the board was kind enough to say, if you come up through this committee with a recommendation that's better, we can re-present it. And I got on record that the bonds don't care how we choose to fund it, because as the purveyor, we're the final ones. We have to pay for it one way or another. So let's make sure we're paying for it in the right way while we're still promoting conservation. We should not lose sight of that fact that we live in a desert. I've made no bones about it. I don't believe in the pipeline. I don't think it's the right way to do business here. I don't think you take water. You learn to live within your means, conserve what you have. I'm a supporter of gray water. I've lost that debate somewhat with Water Authority, but that should be back on the table at some point, because we need to build a sustainable community. And just because it worked when we had all this money and all this growth coming in, it was not the right way to do public policy. Now that we've got the slowdown, we've got an opportunity to really kind of correct some of those turns or policies that we made, and I'm hoping that will be part of what we do through this water study, but other ways. We need to build the community so that they're aware and part of the process.